This is my first boat purchase ever. Pretty much falling apart, cracking, kind of everywhere. Not very stable on the hull. You can see these brackets have just been put one on top of the other to keep it down. So I want to keep this vibe and somehow just restore it to the point where it's structurally sound. I've been sanding for probably 3 hours now, so that's one side, and then that side. But it's getting there. So from part one, you saw I cleaned up the base of all 4 sides of the console to get it ready to be refiberglassed down to the deck. And now I'm focusing on the front of the console, so the bow side of the console. And I'm stripping all the paint off to get down to the fiberglass so I can do some fiberglass work and repaint it. To do that, I started out with a little metal putty knife, and then I moved to the orbital sander and just got the front all cleaned up. All right, it's been about 2.5 hours and I have pretty much all the paint off. I'm down to the fiberglass. So for this area, it looks like there's some cement or something there, so that's gonna take a little bit of work. But yeah, I just been using 40 grit and 80 grit, get through all that paint. A lot of paint. Yeah, now I'm just gonna start moving up 120, 180 grit and get this thing nice and smooth and ready for painting. So I get very easily distracted when working on projects like this, and while walking around the boat, I noticed that on the inside of the console, there's a lot of rotten wood. So I took a break from the front of the console and cleaned out all the rotten wood. Oh, the rotten wood. I think I got it all out though. For the most part, you can see the good wood there. And I'm just gonna put some plywood in there. Once I got that fixed up, I kept working on the front of the console. And you might have noticed there's this thick white duct tape that I think has 2 purposes. I think it helps hold the windows in and acts as a watertight seal around the perimeter of the windows. And I wanted to get this off so I could strip the console all the way down. And that proved to be a very difficult task because there was some sort of extremely sticky and very viscous super glue underneath the tape. So it probably took me at least 30 minutes to remove all the tape, and then it left behind a very, very thick residue that it was super difficult to get off. And while taking it off, I noticed a big chunk of fiberglass fall off. It looks like the tape was the only thing holding it on, so that's something I'll have to replace as well. That's not great. Getting all that duct tape off of there. Has some sort of super glue under it. So I gotta get some of that gunk removal stuff and get the super glue off of there. And there's some missing fiberglass here I'll have to replace as well. Got some of this stuff to take care of that adhesive, and then I think this leaves residue behind itself, so I'll take that off with isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, let's get to it. Works, but it's gonna take a long time. Works. This was probably the most annoying part of the process so far, and this stuff must have done a great job keeping water out because it does not want to come off. I didn't like the look of that duct tape waterproofing system, so I'll have to figure out another way to do that. But yeah, this just took spraying and scraping over and over and over again. After about 45 minutes, I've gotten the goo off of one side, half of one side of one of the windows, and they're starting to pop out now. So I'm gonna try and get the window out, and I think it'd just be easier to do on a flat surface. And that way I can get inside the cracks and get all this stuff that's inside there out as well. So I'm gonna try and do that now. After getting that first window out, I was able to see inside the window frame, and there was just tons of residue and debris that needed cleaning up.
Yeah, it's nasty in there. This needs major work. I'm gonna take these little edges off. I think it's a good idea. I don't know. I'll just take this one off, see what it looks like. Right. Well, got it off. Got both windows out. Both need a ton of work to get all that stuff off, but I can bring them inside at least now, do it in the comfort of my home. And yeah, clean all this up. Probably do another layer of fiberglass. Even though the fiberglass is cracked, the wood underneath it is not, which is good. Yeah, I gotta get this all ready to fiberglass.
Now that I've gotten most of the residue off, it was just a matter of sanding off the paint and getting the surface nice and fair.
Starting to look better. Got that sanded down, got all the sticky stuff off of there. This is looking cleaner. It's been probably 3 hours. That's not too bad. Call it quits for today, but significant progress. Really getting to stripping it down, so more work tomorrow.
So that night and the following morning, I spent hours getting that adhesive off the windows. It was very stubborn and took pretty much a full bottle of that Goo Gone stuff to get it off. I had the idea of getting new plexiglass windows cut, but the shape I'd have to cut them is so strange because the frames of the windows are such a strange shape, and these were actually in pretty good condition except for this adhesive, so I really wanted to just get this stuff off and put them back in.
Been much better.
And while this took me a long time, it would be nothing compared to what I'd find the next day.
Got these metal brackets off of here and got a big old crack. This is all kind of separating. Yeah. And just rotten. So dig a little deeper and see what we can find. Well, that's not good. Yikes. Well, the more I dig, the more I find. Yikes. It's just soft wood. What do I do now? Okay, I think I got it cut out the way I want. I just need to cut some plywood and the 2x4 to reinforce it again. This is the big weak point here. It's holding up the whole thing. Pardon the noise, but yeah, I'm gonna start measuring and cut out some pieces.
This part was like a game of Tetris, trying to figure out how to cut the wood to fit the best.
Okay, I got some plywood, 2x4, try and fix that up in the corner. Piece looks pretty good there, holding in. Put a bracket here, or there, and then plywood, screw it in, and then fiberglass. Should be good. Making steady progress. This 2x4, another 2x4. I'm cutting out pieces to fit, but it's getting way more stable. I cut all that rotten wood, so should just be good stuff. Gotta do another piece here. Comes up, and then piece down like that, and then that should be good. Definitely getting there. Attempting to turn 3/4 inch plywood into 1/2 inch plywood because I am lazy and don't want to go out and buy 1/2 inch. I think I've actually done it. Rip 2 layers off. Just kind of chiseling and then using a hand plane. Yeah, not bad. Gotta file down these old nails sticking out. Nice and flush now. Considering where I was yesterday, I am very impressed with myself. Just did this afternoon, and it's very sturdy. There's 2x4s inside, which I think I showed. Yeah, it's not moving at all. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Now I just gotta clean up all the edges. It's not gonna be perfect. There's gonna be little risen areas, but honestly, that's okay. It's kind of a homemade boat, you know, that's the vibe, so I'm all right with that.